Hey everybody, welcome in. We're going to be painting this sweet little scene today, and we're going to be using the salt technique like we did recently, last week I think. This one in particular was inspired by Emma Lefebvre, and I will link her in my description. And I would really suggest you check it out because she did in the video a bunch of testing of different salts, different papers, different watercolors, different drying times, that sort of thing. And so it was really good. It was also inspired by a photo that I recently took because her video reminded me of a photo I took probably 7 or 8 years ago. I'll show it to you here. This is a photo that I took in Newhall, Iowa. And sadly, this barn is not standing anymore, but I got this beautiful shot and I'm so glad that I did. So we're going to paint this. I really just think this reminds me of a New Year's Eve type of card or whatever you want to make it, piece of art. It's just kind of like leaving the past behind, heading into the future. Of course, we don't know what our future holds. Only God knows what our future holds. But heading into the future with hope. Maybe you've had a rough year. Maybe you as a couple have had a rough year, but going hand in hand with someone you love into the future. And let me tell you something about this. I started this painting and I did the first kind of go at it. And long story short, didn't like what I saw. And so I decided to paint over it, which I've never done before. And so when I get done talking here, I'm going to start the video for you at the point where I dried that first layer, so to speak, and I was scraping off the salt and not liking what I saw. So we'll take it from there. All right, enjoy. So let's just see what we can do with this little scene. Oh, and I'll show you the kind of salt that I use. Let me get this all out of the way. The Celtic salt that I use is this brand. Oh, that brand. What it looks like. And then just a very much whatever brand of Himalayan pink salt. All right, I got all the salt off of here. Now, let me be honest here. I don't like what I'm seeing. And so I'm going to experiment. So, because maybe you'll come across this too, where you're like, that's not what I wanted. And so I'm wetting it again. You heard me right. I'm going to go like this. Kind of a light wash over here. It's going to smear some of it. I'm going to come back in, and I know, oh gosh, you know who I feel sorry for right now? Professionally trained artists that are like, what is she doing? There was one guy one time, I literally can't remember who he is. I wouldn't tell you, I wouldn't say his name anyway, because I'm not trying to be mean, but I just saw one of his videos and he was like, oh, it bothers me so badly when I see watercolorists doing X, Y, Z, whatever it might have been. I'm like, it's okay, man. I hope you're not losing sleep over it because, you know, it's just not a big deal. All right, coming back in with some Celtic. I want big blooms, so I am going to really go heavy on the Celtic up here and see what happens. That's one thing, like when I did more acrylic art, I would, now I feel like I have to bring that down there a little bit. I would, if I didn't like a painting, I would literally wait for it to dry and I would paint right over it, either black or white gesso, and just let that dry and start all over, blank canvas. So, and I've never done that with watercolors. You're seeing it here first. We'll see what happens. All right. I hope it works because I have an idea that I'm excited about. Okay, I'm going to let this dry again. I'll time lapse it here in a little bit. Ooh, I'm actually going to add some Himalayan as well because I want there to be lots of snow, because I am going for that effect of what you saw in the photograph that I showed you. This might have dried already a little bit too much to even have this make a difference, but we'll see. Okay, I'm back, And I think we've got enough drying. I'm going to just do this just in case because I don't want to smear anything that might be wet. I'm trying to protect the salt from going all over my table and onto the floor. I kind of don't know how people just kind of brush it off. Mine kind of sticks. Am I the only one? The salt can make a little bit of a mess. I'm feeling a little bit of dampness, so I'm just going to do this. And now we are going to come in and paint our tree trunks and branches. So I am just using, what color is this? Umber out of my Paul Rubens set. And I am going to start by going up a little bit here. And then you can just start kind of connecting little branches here and there with the little white parts. Kind of just use your imagination with what's happening here behind all of these snowy parts. You can make this as light or dark as you want. I kind of like how wonky it is down here. We will blend that in just to, so it's not too much of a hard edge. I got a little too much water there, so I'm going to dry my brush off and mop some of that up and then add a little bit more color. It was all pretty light. A little light for my liking anyway, so let's come on through here. I'm being careful because I've never done this before, so I'm being a little extra careful. And Emma made a good point of like, you don't have to connect every single little piece of snow to something, but yeah, just kind of play with it. Step back, look up here, see what you're seeing through these little peaks. What's peeking through here? Yeah, I'm being a little too careful with my light color. I don't know why, because whether it's light or dark, it's there, you know? So I may as well just start going over these and making them darker so you can actually see them. Okay, I'm going to speed up here after I make this a little bit darker as well. I'm going to speed it up because it's really going to be just me. Oops, now I need to blend that again. It's going to be me just kind of going through and adding the little branches as I see fit. I'm going to say less is more because I'm not loving that over there, but that's okay. You could always add white on there with our bleed proof white or gouache or whatnot. You know what though? I'm leaving it. Okay, let's see where this guy comes down from. We're gonna bring him this way. I think we're gonna give some shading over here too. I kind of like leaving that one just as it is, but oh, here I go. I'm gonna just add one up there at the top. Okay. Okay. Actually gonna kind of blend just a little bit here. And now for, oh, let me just actually dry these real quick before I add anything in the snow. And I'm going to add some, let's say, I'm going to mix some Prussian blue with some Payne's gray. All right. And I'm going to just kind of wet here and there. Actually, I actually like how this is going because this is really just a wash that's on my brush. Very light. And I'm going to add maybe a little bit of color to different spots here. Maybe little shadows under the trees, maybe. Okay. Leaving some of the white showing because it is snow after all. Drying my brush off and picking some of that up there. All right, let's let that dry. Okay, and I want to paint in a couple of people here. Kind of, maybe this is symbolic of leaving the past behind, looking forward to the future. You had a rough year. I'm going to do like I did in my people painting videos. I did a video where we drew the letter M and made them into a couple of people holding hands. So we are going to do that. We're going to draw, this half is going to be red. I'm going to you're going to have to use your imagination. And then the other half of the M is going to be blue. But I'm going to go ahead while I have red on my brush and just draw the rest of this person's coat or what have you here. And then I'm going to get some blue and I'm going to let these bleed together. They're walking hand in hand. So here is our second half of the letter M. See what I did there? So, and then give this person their coat and arm down by the side maybe. Okay, or maybe you don't see an arm. I don't know. Either way. And then I'm just going to do black pants. Maybe they're wearing snow pants. It's a cold day. Cold day. Let's see. They can also, what do you call it? They can run in, blend is what the word I'm trying to say, into the top. I'm sorry, I can't paint top. All right, there we have it. There's that. Now for their heads, you know what I'm going to do? We're just going to keep the black on there. You could give them a colored hat if you want. I'm just going to give them, that person kind of looks like they have long hair. And there you have it. But guess what we need to do now? We got to put some footprints in the snow. So I'm going to take this color, which was a mixture of Prussian blue and Payne's gray. And I'm just going to put some, we'll start with this person's footprints and just kind of do like that. And then same for this one. And that will dry a lot lighter. I'm going to go ahead and dry it. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not super satisfied with my trees, and I like to leave stuff in so I can show you how to remedy things when they go in a way that you didn't like. I'm just going to go ahead and get some bleed-proof white, and I'm going to splatter, which is kind of risky right now because I have a good sweater on, but I'm going to risk it. Got my bleed-proof white. And I'm going to just get a little bit out on my brush, and I'm going to put it on my palette and get it nice and wet. Put the lid back on. I feel like the snow would maybe distract from the trees I don't like. You know what almost always happens, or at least very frequently happens, is, oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see my finger. I'm just tapping the brush. I will walk away from this and like it better than I do right now, usually. Other times, honestly, I walk away and I come back and I'm going, oh, well, not my best, but that's okay. Okay, what do you think? I'm starting to like it. And as I've been painting, honestly, it's been flurrying here a little bit. I did find out we're not having a white Christmas, so that's not super unusual anymore. That'll be good for people who are traveling. It's supposed to be in the 40s Fahrenheit, so that'll be good. All right, I'm leaving it. What do you think? I like it. I like it well enough. How's that? I like it well enough to keep it in a video. Oh, and we can remove our tape. That's a pretty sweet little picture, isn't it? Okay, what do you think? Are you going to give it a try? It could be really sweet. You know what one of my goals is for the new year? Is to not be in a hurry when I do these because I want to give you a good tutorial. Although I've gotten feedback from some of you that appreciate me leaving my mistakes in there. So maybe this is just real life. I'm not a full-time artist at this point in my life, and I don't have all the time in the world, and I bet you don't either. I got white paint on my nails. All right, have fun with this, you guys, and I hope you're enjoying prepping for Christmas and all the celebrations you have coming up, and I will see you in the next video.